everyone! In this video, I show you how I decorate this gorgeous Christmas tree. But this tree decorating video will be a bit different than my usual ones because I'm doing it as a voiceover. This is at my parents' house and they were busy cooking while I was busy decorating. You may even see me talking from time to time. That wasn't to myself but to my family. But I'll still be able to show you step by step how I achieved this tree. So let's get started. First off, my parents always set up the tree for me. This is a 9-foot pre-lit self-fluffing tree, and per my instructions, they also add twinkle lights to the interior of the tree. This is one of my favorite techniques, and this is my favorite set. I'll link to it in the description box. So my first step will be to work on the tree topper. Another one of my favorite techniques is to integrate light into the tree topper. For this one, I'll use a light socket and an LED bulb. I'll run an extension cord up the middle of the tree, and then I will plug the light socket into it all the way at the very top. And it's really important to make sure you're using an LED bulb because you are going to be putting this in the tree. You don't want anything that gets too hot. So I will be sure to link to both the light socket and the bulb of choice that I use down in the description box as well. Then to attach the socket and bulb to the top of the tree, I'm going to use one of my favorite materials to use, which are pipe cleaners. They come in a variety of colors, so you can always find one to blend in with your tree. Next, I'm going to start adding the stuff into the tree topper. For this, I'm going to use a couple of different branches. I've got kind of a bronzy, glittery set, and then I also have a more blue set, not a perfect match for the teal, but close enough once I have everything together, and it's glittery as well. And I'll stick these down into the very top of the tree so that they look like they're exploding from the top. Then one of the most fun parts of this tree are the peacock feathers that I'm going to also integrate into the tree topper. And then I'll use these really big impressive bows to tie at the base of the tree topper to help integrate it into the rest of the tree. And once again, I'll use my favorite pipe cleaners to attach everything to the tree. I'm going to start with the bronze glitter branches because they're the most visually weighty part of the tree topper. And I have 5 of these, and I'm just going to work my way sticking them in around so I can get the structure for the overall tree topper. And you'll notice I am using those pipe cleaners to kind of tie them in down about, probably 8 or 10 inches beneath the top of the tree, just to make sure I have a really good strong foundation and the top of the tree doesn't wobble too much. Once I have the bronze branches attached, I'm going to move on now to the bows. And I'm going to take 4 of these large bows and basically create a ring around the base of those branches all the way around the tree. Once again, tying it around that base that I'm forming. This is going to serve a couple of purposes. One is it's going to help integrate the tree topper with some of the things that I'm going to use throughout the tree, but it's also going to help disguise some of what's going on up there at the base of that tree topper, so you don't see, for instance, those branches as they come down. But I do need the length of those branches to come pretty far down into the tree itself to keep the tree topper stable. Once I have the bows on, I'll go ahead and stick the blue branches in the middle once again, interspersed with the bronze branches. And because these are a little bit thinner, I do have more of these. I think I have about 8 of them overall. And now for the fun, I'm going to be sticking in the peacock feathers. These are actually the second set of peacock feathers that I've used to decorate this tree. The first set actually had been volunteered by a molting peacock that came into my parents' yard years ago, and my mom picked up the feathers and we decided to use them. But I will warn you that after a while, because peacock feathers are natural materials, they do start to kind of break down and not look so good. So my mom was able to find some new peacock feathers somewhere. Now with the peacock feathers, they have a tendency to either lean slightly to the left or to the right, and so I am making sure to kind of balance that out as I do the tree topper. So I want to make sure that I'm paying attention to the direction that the peacock feathers are going in. Now I've been using mostly the long peacock feathers and making sure to stick them in so I'm also getting various heights. But once I get the longer ones in, I am coming back with some of the shorter ones and I'm sticking them closer down towards the bows, and I'll even put some coming out of the bows and down from the bows down towards the tree rather than sticking straight up or out. And once again, this just helps integrate the tree topper down into the tree itself. Next, I'm going to take this glittery brown ribbon and I'm going to add it into the rest of the tree. I've got 4 different lengths of it, and for each length I'm going to start at the top of the tree, basically right underneath the base of the bows, and I'm going to weave it in and out of the tree at a little bit of a zigzag pattern and work my way down to the bottom. And I'm going to take each of these lengths and just space them out around the tree. And we'll pop down to the bottom of the tree again so you can see this a little better. Now that I've got the ribbon on, I'm going to add the next big filler item, which are more of the bows. So these are pretty much the same bows that I have at the top of the tree, but I'm going to add them into different places throughout the tree. And my rule with placing big items like this is I like to work these in a little bit of a zigzag pattern. So I'll put one bow up high in one spot, and then for the next one I'll come down. For the next one after that, I'll go up, but maybe higher than the first one. This just ensures that repetitive items are evenly spaced throughout the tree. The great thing about these bows is because of their large size, they take up a lot of the room of the tree. Really, this tree is pretty simple to decorate once you have all of the items themselves made. So for instance, once I made these bows years ago, I just pull them out and very quickly put them on the tree, and it looks pretty impressive. Next, we're going to move on to some repetitive or filler kinds of ornaments. So I've got some picks here, poinsettias and acorns and the teal color. And I'm just going to add these throughout the tree, making sure that I space them out as evenly as possible. For these, I am going to be sticking them out towards the end of the branches. So this is my first tree decorating video to do as a voiceover, and I'm really curious to know, which do you prefer? My more traditional types of tree tutorials where I'm talking about what I'm doing live with actually doing it, or something like this where I'm actually coming back in a little bit later and doing a voiceover. Leave me a comment down below and let me know, and I'm happy to make more of the types of videos that you prefer to watch. Next, I'm moving on to more filler types of ornaments, and this time it's with balls. I've got some big balls and some medium balls that I'm going to nestle actually down inside the tree. Not only are the balls in different sizes, but they're also in different colors and finishes as well. And my preference for balls of a medium or larger size is to actually nestle them inside the tree, so they help fill in any visual gaps, and especially where they might be a shiny finish, reflect some of the light back out. And because I do this, I won't use hangers. Occasionally I'll use something to tie them in place if they won't stay where I want, but most of the time they'll stay just fine where I want to put them. So I'll continue to go around the tree with my various medium to large size balls, making sure once again that I spread the balls out evenly as best I can based on size, color, and finish. I'll also want to make sure that I'm paying special attention to around the tree topper and getting some balls up there. Once again, this is going to help me be able to hide some of the pieces of the tree topper base that you might otherwise be able to see. Once I've finished with the medium and large balls, I'll move on to some smaller balls. For these, I will use tree hooks. But I'll try to make sure that the ornaments still hang as close as possible to the branch from which they're hung. I don't want to use any of those oversized hooks that leave an inch or two or sometimes more of space. That just doesn't look quite as natural. So where possible, I'll actually curl the hook over to make sure it's as close as possible. And for this, I will do some a little further in, but I will bring some of these smaller balls out to the tips of the branches as well. And then last for the ornaments, I'm going to move on to the special ornaments. These are the ones that really make the tree unique and have a lot of meaning. These are ornaments that my mom has collected throughout the years, came from friends, came from travels, etc. And you'll notice that I have some gaps, and those were left intentionally as I was decorating because I knew I wanted to leave spaces for these ornaments to really be able to be the showcase. So I'll just spread these out throughout the tree. For those ornaments that already have kind of built-in hangers, I won't add additional hangers. I will use those, and once again, I'll try to hang them as close as I can to the branch. Sometimes that means wrapping the string around the branch so the ornament itself hangs right underneath. Now it's time to move on to the very last step of the tree, which is adding the tree skirt and embellishing underneath or beside the tree. And for that, I'm going to use this old leopard print bedspread. I'm going to use some wicker deer that light up on batteries and some topiaries that I can set around the tree. And here's the final result, a spectacular tree that looks great no matter what angle you see it at. And you definitely see this tree from a lot of different angles, whether it's coming in the front door, in the family room, in the kitchen, or even from the balcony from the second floor above. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. It's such a helpful way to support me here on my channel. And if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Catherine. I'm really glad to have you, and I hope you'll consider subscribing so you can see more of my tree decorating videos as well as many other holiday related videos that I'll post this season. Otherwise, I hope you have a great holiday season, and until next time, bye.